Hello, my name is Anton Casasnovas, and this is my presentation about Star Wars: A New Hope and the Hero's Journey. So, a hero's journey. A superhero, a benevolent fictional character with superhuman powers. When asked about superheroes, most people jump straight into Batman, Superman, and Captain America. What people don't actually acknowledge is that all superheroes go through a journey before becoming these magnificent creatures. In Star Wars: A New Hope, George Lucas takes James Campbell's 12 steps to a hero's journey to guide and execute the hero's journey to perfection. Luke Skywalker was an ordinary guy living in Tatooine with aspirations to help the rebels beat the evil empire. After a series of unfortunate events, Luke is forced to make a decision and join the rebels at a young age. Here, he begins his life changing journey and quest to save his sister and destroy the Death Star built by the evil empire. So, the first step: the ordinary world. In Star Wars, there's no such thing as an ordinary world. However, there is always a place where the story begins, and in this case, it is Tatooine. Luke Skywalker, as I said, is a young man who lives in Tatooine with his aunt and uncle. Since he was a little kid, he has always disliked it there, dreaming that one day he can leave Tatooine and join the rebels to help beat the evil empire. One day, Luke decides to buy some drones, some meaningless robots, not knowing that one of them contained instructions on how to destroy the evil empire's Death Star, and that this robot would give him a call that would forever change his life. Step 2 and kind of step 3: the call and the refusal to the call. So, for the call, for a character to begin an adventure, an event or a calling must be made. For Luke, the calling comes from Rebel, one of the main Jedi's, Obi-Wan Kenobi, as he says, "You must learn the ways of the Force if you're to come with me to Alderaan." Yes, some awesome words indeed. But shortly after, the refusal comes, as Luke is overwhelmed and not ready to commit such a life-changing decision like that one. He tells Obi-Wan Kenobi, "I can't get involved. I've got so much work to do. It's not that I like the Empire, I hate it, but there's nothing I can do about it right now. It's such a long way from here." Step number 3: accepting the call. For Campbell's journey believes that after a call is refused, chaos and disaster typically follow, causing the character to man up and accept the call they so much feared to accept earlier. In Luke's case, there is no difference. He gets home and sees both his aunt and uncle in his burning home. His aunt and uncle were both killed, murdered by the stormtroopers of the evil empire. Luke was heartbroken, as Obi-Wan stood by and tried to help him. This motivated him to answer the call and join the Jedi, the rebels, and finally leave towards Alderaan. This step to the journey can be seen as the most important, as it is a vital turning point in the film and in Luke's life. He now has a reason to join the he has a reason and all the motivation in the world to join the Jedi and beat the Empire. So, step 4. As they move on, the next couple of steps are a little unclear, so they will be resumed in this slide. Entering the unknown. So the story pauses and show Luke and Obi-Wan on top of a massive cliff. They look down into a valley when Obi-Wan utters, "Mos Eisley Spaceport. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious." It is at this point that the hero, Luke, crosses from the safe and familiar to the unfamiliar. The supernatural aid and adventure. After crossing the threshold, Luke meets Chewbacca and Han Solo, who became vital pieces to the story and help prepare Luke mold into a hero he'll soon become. Once he meets them, he is put through a test. In this test, he needs to defend himself from drones that are shooting lasers at him. First, he needs to defend himself with a lightsaber, but then proceeds to use the Force in order to defend himself. The Force is the supernatural aid that will help him complete his task. So, the Dragon Test and the Supreme Ordeal. The Dragon Battle is where Luke and along with Obi-Wan and Chewbacca and Han Solo go on a mission to rescue Princess Leia. Luke's sister. They dress up as stormtroopers and make their way into Princess Leia. They made it there, but not without encountering a massive obstacle, Darth Vader. The ritual death happens here, as Obi-Wan sacrifices himself to give the others a chance to escape. Here, many of Campbell's steps are filled, as also they pass through the atonement by him being reunited with his sister. Lastly, the reward and the journey home. After the series of events, is feeling unfulfilled and with no intention of going home. Luke does get a reward, as Princess Leia, his sister, is now free and with him. However, with the death of his uncles and mentor, he has no home and no reason to go back. The refusal the refusal to return is clear. He has no option. Returning was never an option, as his homeland was destroyed by the stormtroopers. He has no family to go back to. Luke's only path to an ordinary life will require him to end the Empire's Death Star. Thus, 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 he chooses to turn down Han Solo's proposal to leave and stays to destroy the Death Star. Luke decides to permanently join the rebels in an attempt to avenge his aunt and former mentor Obi-Wan Kenobi, and finally bring peace to the rest of the galaxy. He completed his task and is happy and motivated. In this case, he decides not to live freely, but to make a difference where it really counts. Thank you for your time.